evening, everybody. There we go. That was a slow start. That was a very slow start for some reason, but welcome to the live stream. Friday, 1st of July, 2022. Wow, 6 months have gone, halfway through the year. Be Christmas soon. Welcome. Not been on for a few weeks, I can only apologise. Busy, and lots of things happening, lots of developments, and we've been really busy. So unfortunately, certain things have had to have a bit of a delay, and the live streams and the videos have been suffering a little bit, so I can only apologise, but back on track tonight, and I am repeating the very popular Module 2 with an interactive video, Q&As, so it's going to be a good one. Anybody going for Module 2 shortly will benefit from it, okay? So do stay tuned. So the normal, well done everybody. Up and down the country, those have been messaging through the YouTube channel that they've been achieving their goals. Really good to know. And the channel has been given a bit of momentum over the last month or two, so really good. Currently on 9.28, 9.3 subscribers, 9.3 thousand subscribers, so won't be long before we get to that 10,000 mark, so thank you all very much. Also Team RJH, every day of the week getting tests, every day of the week across 4 sites getting tests, and really busy. So well done to Team RJH for their continued efforts, really good. And yeah, so 12 people watching, really good. And still going to give away that free CBT if we get to 100 people watching. The record is 62, so we have had 62 people watching the live stream at the same time. That was in the early days, not really achieved that for a while, but definitely want to be trying to get up to that 100 people watching at the same time. And then we are going to throw a CBT gift voucher to the lucky winner. So we'll open up 3 questions. First correct answer, get the free CBT. But I need 100 people watching. The only way we're going to get 100 people watching is you, ladies and gents, the viewers. Clicking the likes, sharing the video, commenting away. It does help with those YouTube algorithms. Okay, so that's really important. And yeah, exciting stuff been going on the last few weeks. So we're looking promising. A few more schools opening. So we're planning to open 3 more schools over the next few months, taking us to 7 in the northwest. And we have also introduced the trail riding, the off-road trail riding. So it has been really busy, hence the slight bit of absence. Also, I'm away, go to Spain on Tuesday, certainly for about 6 or 7 weeks, might be a little bit longer, but I will be taking the office over, and so I will be continuing with my live streams just to keep in touch with you, ladies and gents. So that's from Tuesday. Let's have a look who we have got then. Good evening to Lisa. Thank you for joining the live stream, Lisa. Reeve, good evening to you, M. Nice of you to join us. Rob Quince, good evening to you. And TH3 British, good evening. There's a question in there, still waiting on my provisional license to come through. So I can't wait to book in with RJH for a CBT. Fantastic to hear. Fantastic to hear. Good evening to Dean also. So, yep, thank you very much for joining. So what I have got a little collection of videos which we're going to interact with on the live stream, because that's what I've learned how to do. So we'll be doing that as an example. Let's just see, for those of you that are there. So if I come into here, I can resume that. And then recording. Go to there. And I can.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Rob Howard, RJH Motor.
So we're going to have that interactive video. I've got a collection of videos there. So it will be, and I'll be tucking myself up in the corner. I can vary where I am and come down here. So depending on the shot. So we're going to have a running bit of a demo ride that I did. So we'll introduce that. Could even come down the bottom corner. Also going to use the ride and test report, go through the module 2, and you know, hopefully it will help you, but you can, you know, get your questions in, and we can see how it goes. So pretty cool. What would I call it? An interactive live stream. Interactive live stream. Another unique selling point, a USP for RJH, because I don't believe there are any bike schools in the country doing weekly live streams. So I think it's a first for us, and you know, it's good for everybody. So that's what I'm going to be doing anyway. So let's come back to, let's get if I can, there. I can always come back to it in a minute. So let's have a look. There's a bit more activity in the chat room. Dave Morgan. Good evening to Dave Morgan. Good evening to Russell. And good evening, Stephen70. So there's a few new names in the chat room. So thank you all very much for joining. Let's just have a little intro about Mod 2. So anybody that's doing a Mod 2 test or training up to doing the Mod 2, this sort of video could help you. But also, you're gonna have done your CBT, you're gonna have done your theory test, you're gonna have done your Module 1 test. Final part of obtaining your license is your Module 2. It's the final part. So if you've got this far, well done, and not far to go. What is it? 40-minute road ride, 40 minutes approximately. You can get 10 minor faults and still pass, nothing to be proud of. So 12 minor faults would be a fail. You can get, you cannot get one serious or one dangerous fault, because that would also be a fail. So you want to, certainly don't want any of them. Because that is going to be a problem for you on your result. Once you've passed your test, depending on what category you've taken, your age, category, depends what you can ride. On passing, your examiner will take your licence off you, surrender it to him, and he'll order you a new one. Okay, take a few weeks generally. 40-minute test. What is it broken up into then? Eyesight check. Show me, tell me questions. Independent riding. That's about it. Yeah, that is about it. Down below in the description, lots of links which also support really what we're going to be going through on the discussion. Okay. So that's about that. So everybody still with us on that? Anybody got any questions regarding that? So RJH, even on the module 1 will train you for mod 2. So the start of this video, you'll see the start of the video I'm going to show you now is basically
recording.
It's basically a ride to a module 1 test. So I'm riding, demonstrating to the trainees on the way to the test centre, and it's to get them relaxed, takes their mind off the job in hand, module 1, but also gives them a few tips for their mod 2. This isn't mod 2 lesson, it's a mod 1 ride to test, but it's saddle time and it's saddle time, and it's valuable. So this is a little demonstration ride which we can sort of go down it, and if you've got any questions of now, it's really clear. The mic is so clear. I come over as heavy breathing, but I promise you I'm not heavy breathing, but it is so clear. And so let's have a look, and I can always stop it and
Okay, good afternoon everybody. Rob Howitt, RJH Motorbike Training in Manchester. Busy this afternoon. Mod 2 test. Richard going over to St Helens with Graham, and Kirsty and Danny on their Module 1 tests in Atherton with myself. Kirsty is going on about 150 and Danny is about 1220. So what we're going to do is a demo ride for you both over to Atherton. I'll give you a little bit of a talk through about what I'm doing, and gives you a bit of an idea ready for your mod 2, but it also takes your mind off of your mod 1, which is imminent in an hour or two. So it's saddle time, which is all good experience, and then you can ask me any questions that you have at the end. So yeah, all right then, Chief. We are going to.
Yep. So that's me taking a couple of candidates over for mod 1. Graham's going over to a mod 2. So as you could see in the introduction there, just capitalising on that saddle time rather than just going over. We're using that valuable time, give feedback, help you out. So it's all good stuff.
Going through I'm going to go through Worsley. Got a bit of everything there ready for the video as well, for a bit of a variety. Okay, so if you both want to just ride through the other side, yeah. I think you'll find the volumes are maxed, so make sure it's on your ear. Don't think that'll make much. I'm sure they are on full. Has it gone up? Has it? Somebody might have pressed it down then. Yep, okay, all right, yep. So yeah, just ride through and I'll lock up the gate.
There you go. So there's the bit of heavy breathing. I promise you, I'm not out of, I'm not unfit.
Cheers, Graham.
It's just a very, very clear sound which you just pick up absolutely everything. So it's Graham Cook. Good evening, Graham, who's in the video there. Yes, Emma, M. So yeah, I took you down instead of John. That was it. Yes, and of course I took Emma down to. I took Emma down to Atherton, and Jeff was also with Emma, and of course my lucky spell rubbed off on them, and they both had a nice pass. So I take all the credit for their pass, although it's a team effort because we all prepare the candidates up to the test, get them in the zone. So it's a combined team effort. But yeah, nice couple of passes, which is what we like. Yeah, this is a good one. This TH3 British, it's a good one. But as I develop my skills on the live stream and interactive videos, I can bring in a lot of different videos. So I'm still just learning and playing around with it, but we will get there. We will get there. So we're going to get it. Look, so just get the, and I'm going to be taking lead. So off Graham. There he goes, the chief. Thumbs up to the chief. Off he goes.
Okay then, so I'll take the lead. Kirsty, you can follow me. Danny, you can follow Kirsty. Very important with your mod 2s and when you're out riding is forward planning. The earlier you can identify stuff, the more time you've got to deal with it. So nothing is then a rush. It's all about forward planning and anticipating. So even going from here, before we move away, look, the lights are on red, so observations before we set away. Anticipate any of the cars moving out, reversing, pedestrians and so on. Slow ride. Graham. Observations. Don't just stare to the right, keep looking both ways, anticipating the lights might change. New road into the command position. Check my mirrors, cancel my signal.
I think that's an important one on the mod 2. On the module 2 is it come under the observations, and it would come up as an example junctions. So if we have a look at number 20 on a mod 2 riding test report, number 20 would be junctions. Now junctions could be also roundabouts junctions, but there's a section there, observations. So if we look at the description on observations, your examiner looks to see that you deal safely with road junctions, use of the OSM PSL. So on approach, your OSM PSL, mirror, signal, manoeuvre. But positioning, 1 left, 3 right, we've got that. But the observations, if we just go back to the car
can
exiting the car park.
anticipate any of the cars moving out, reversing, pedestrians and so on.
Watching tennis.
Slow ride.
So where you watch tennis, ball goes from one side to the other, so you have to go right, left, right, left.
Observations.
My head turning.
Don't just.
You can see that I am looking right, left, because you can get transfixed.
Slow ride.
To the right. And then you forget what's actually on the left.
Observations.
A set of lights.
Don't just stare to the right, keep looking both ways, anticipating the lights might change.
Right, left, right.
New road into the command position. Check mirrors.
That's an important one on a Mod 2 test. Observations at roundabouts and junctions. And remember, when you actually do go, so at the point that you are going, you want to be looking where you're going. So watch this.
Observations. Don't just stare to the right, keep looking both ways, anticipating the lights might change.
Looking.
New road into the command position. Check my mirrors, cancel my signal. So straight away I'm thinking of the vehicles.
Apologies for the
emergency service vehicle.
Up, and that's the wind that's picking up, but it does settle down a little bit further through.
Plus jumping the lights. So here I'm thinking about parked vehicles and vehicles coming towards me over the white line, so I might need to change my position. So I'm always flexible with my road position, keeping the jump.
Road position. So we'll mention road position.
As my brakes, just coming over.
Good evening, Darren.
Observations.
Good of you too.
Don't just stare to the right, keep looking both ways, anticipating the lights might change.
Very important when you've made your manoeuvre.
New road into the command position.
New road, command position, check your mirrors, cancel your signals. I've got a fantastic video down below.
Check my mirrors, cancel my signal.
And people message me from up and down the country telling me that when they're on the Mod 2 they pass the test, or they could hear my voice saying, command position, check my mirrors, cancel my signal, and it works. It really does work.
So straight away I'm thinking of the vehicles in front.
Yeah, so straight away what I'm doing is thinking about the vehicles that are parked on the opposite side of the road on approach, and thinking about my road position, 3 positions in my lane. And if I get any vehicles coming towards me over the white line, think about coming into a safety position 1. Don't just hog that middle of the lane. And be flexible with your road position. Good evening to Luke.
As well for following distances, and thinking about getting myself in a position that gives me the best visibility, anticipating the lights changing and the car turning in front of me, to checking the mirrors, and never take your view away from what's going on in the front. Anticipating mirrors I always check before I use my brakes.
Yeah, so thinking positioning, thinking observations, and if you're going to be thinking about your mirrors, you want to be looking at them before you brake, before you signal, before you change position, so on.
Coming over now into position 3 so I can see.
So there, do that, normal 2. What I've done is come into position 3.
Use my brakes, just coming over now into position 3 so I can see further. So they've got a vehicle there indicating, so observations, change position. There we go. Scan around in crossroads.
I think that was Going through the crossroads, scanning.
Crossroads. Emergency service vehicles jumping the lights. So here I'm thinking about parked vehicles and vehicles coming towards me over the white line, so I might need to change my position. So I'm always flexible with my road position, keeping the junction clear. So we don't want to obscure anybody getting into this junction. So it's all...
Yeah, that's an easy one, isn't it? So always think about keeping junctions clear. You know, 9 times out of 10 you'll get away with it. But the one time that you do obstruct that junction, you're on your Mod 2 test, somebody will want to get in or somebody will want to come out. So do plan it, keep it clear.
Of the planning, and I'm aware of what's going on around at all times. Observations before setting away. Following distances, couple of bike lengths, I can get around the vehicles if I need to.
Good evening to Damio's
When I get up to 30, I'll be doing my 2-second rule.
3,000 miles, that's
good conditions, 4 seconds in the wet.
So you'll be watching loads of...
Just be aware of what's going on around and to the sides and behind me. Observations again before moving away. Try and stay with me, guys. Anticipate workmen.
Yeah, workmen.
Traffic quite heavy. So it's important to be keeping the distances so you can still deal with whatever presents itself.
Yeah, so following distances, do keep with those. 2 seconds, 4 seconds. It is important that you ride according to the conditions. Give yourself that time to be able to respond to stuff. So yeah, following distance. Good evening to John Little. Thanks for joining us.
With the lights, we're going to be turning right. At the lights, turning right. Anticipate the car on the junction. So being confident, but also be able to deal with whatever. So mirror signal manoeuvre. Anticipate cars coming out from the left lane. So I'm going to sit behind the white line because I don't want to get caught in no man's land. Observations. Lights are still green, so we'll give it a go. Forward into position. You can all follow me through, look. Remember that lifesaver over the right shoulder. Back brake only if at all, no front brake at all. New road in the centre of your lane.
Yeah, that's an important one, and we'll come back to that in a moment. So John, so the TH3 bit, I know you talk about it's looking far ahead first and scanning back for potential hazards later, but is there a reason why you don't scan your immediate surroundings? Yeah, you're doing it all. You're doing it all. I think if I'm moving, so if I'm moving at 20 or 30 mile an hour, whatever's that immediately surrounded to me, right and left, is going to be behind me. So I'm always looking where I'm going, but I am always aware of what's going on around and back as well. Maintenance, ladies, maintenance. Yes, starting on Tuesday. Going to be a good one. Going to be a good one. Sorry, I'm going to be missing it, Emma. I will be in Spain. Certainly in Spain for the month of July into August. So I won't even be able to do any filming of it, which is a shame. Anyway, there will be more to come. Let's have a think.
So mirror signal manoeuvre, anticipate cars coming out from the left lane. sit behind the observations.
So that's a popular error that noticed when I was approaching the lights. I sat behind the lights because of what was in front. So I'm looking at the heavy goods taking up most of the space, car behind it. So, you know, if I go and sit behind the car, then the lights change, then I am in that no man's land. So that's not a good idea. So by sitting back just behind the white line, I can just let it develop and then decide. So if the wagon goes, if the HGV goes and the lights down green, then I can go forward. But don't get caught in no man's land. So just give it a little bit of thought, and by letting it develop, you know, you can then decide safely what you're going to do.
Lights are still green, so we'll give it a go. Forward into position. You can all follow me through, look.
So there, I've gone through because then...
Remember that lifesaver over the right shoulder?
So there, the lights have changed. So you've got to go. So you've gone through the green light, you've gone over the white line on the green light, and there was a lot of thought behind that decision to go. Wouldn't be any good me sitting there behind the white line and leaving that huge big gap in the middle, because somebody then behind me probably would have gone. So in this instant, Darren, myself being the lead vehicle of my group, I would have been absolutely fine. And in fairness, the two riders behind me were fine as well. We've gone forward, we've committed, the lights have then changed. Sometimes this has an arrow, this particular one. But the arrow didn't come on, as you can see. But yeah, perfectly safe to go.
Back brake only, if at all. No front brake at all.
That's an important one on the right turn. No front brake, back brake only, control the clutch. Look at where I'm emerging. What I'm doing is emerging into position 2.
New road in the centre of your lane.
Centre. What you don't want to be doing is going over to that curbside. That's what we call swan necking. So following through when the lights have changed, Darren, you ideally don't want to do that. Follow through when the lights are on green, yeah, then you've got to go. But if you're approaching and the lights are changing, always, you know, if you've got time to stop behind the white line, then stop. Yeah, sometimes the filter light comes on. Filter light comes on, then you've got the priority. But green light's on, don't wait for the filter light. If a green light comes on and the filter light's not on and it's clear and it's safe, go. Yep.
Mirrors cancel signals. Away we go. 30 is the limit, so always try and get yourself up to 8 speeds. Stay away from the centre white line. Look through the bend. Approach is so important on the bends, getting your gears and speed right. Always be able to stop in the distance you can see to be clear.
There's some very, very good tips.
Turning right, anticipate the car on the junction. Being confident, get caught in no man. Shoulder, back brake to 20 speeds.
Approaching bends. So approaching bends, even in this instant, it's sort of more urban. Think about a position change on this instant, and 1 for a right bend, 2 for a left bend. But approach at the right speed, in the right gear. Always be able to stop in the distance you can see. To be clear, there's 3 really useful tips. So 3 really useful tips. Approach is important.
Stay away from the centre white line. Look through the bend. Approach is so important on the bends, getting your gears and speed right. Always be able to stop in the distance you can see to be clear. Mirrors before brakes. Mirrors before signals. Anticipate the cyclist, the pedestrian, vehicle. So it's all about spotting these things nice and early and being able to deal with now lifesaver. We do this as
So people often say with regards to indicators.
Mirrors before brakes.
So this is
mirrors before signals.
And so indication. So if we look at number 14 on the ride-in test report, signals. Signals, are they necessary? Are they correctly used, timed? And it's are signals necessary? And when we raise that question, people say, yeah, well, I would indicate if I'm crossing the centre white line. So I would indicate if I was crossing the centre white line because of an obstruction. And we say, right, okay, so why is that? And they say, well, that's what I was taught to do when I learned to drive. So, right, okay, well, I wasn't taught to do that. So we just have a conversation exploring the consequences. And this could be a very good example as we
anticipate the cyclist, the pedestrian,
coming up the bridge,
it's all about
heavy
spotting these things.
You're going to be pulling over.
Nice and
You're
early.
going to be pulling over pretty much opposite
Being able.
So the question is then, if he's pulling up on the left, there's a junction on the right, and I'm overtaking it, and I indicate to go around this, would it be confusing with people? Possibly. So the car in front's indicating, but is he turning? Right, so he's turning, look. If you're turning, that's slightly different. You need to put your indicator.
Nice and early. And being able.
So my question is, do I need to indicate to get round the wagon?
Now, lifesaver.
Lifesaver. So the lifesaver really is a sufficient indicator to anybody behind. Now, can you see in this instant, what if I put my right indicator on and I was going past that wagon? So if I was indicating going past that wagon, I'm confusing people into that junction. Yeah? So is the signal necessary? Well, every situation is going to be different. So it's going to be you being flexible with that decision. But in this instant, I wouldn't use the indicator because of the potential of misleading people.
This is car drivers, but the disadvantage, of course, on a bike is that you are a lot less visible.
Good question, Darren, but who would I be telling? So who would I need to indicate to tell that I was going to go around this? So I certainly wouldn't need to indicate to tell somebody at that junction that I was going, because they're going to think I'm going in the junction. They're going to pull out. I wouldn't need to indicate to tell somebody coming towards me, because I've not got the priority, so I need to slow down and hold back and wait. I wouldn't indicate to let pedestrians know. So the only person I would think you're thinking I should indicate for is somebody behind. So how can I indicate to people behind without indicating? So how can I let people know behind without indicating? Now I want you to watch my head, because the most powerful form of an indicator here, without an indicating, would be my road position and my lifesaver. So let's just let it go again. So I'm in position 2-ish. Watch this.
Now,
Lifesaver.
We
No
do this as
indicator.
car drivers.
Anybody behind me would have been clearly seeing what I'm doing by my positioning and my lifesaver without indicating.
But the disadvantage, of course, on a bike is that you are a lot less visible and a lot more vulnerable. So, if anything, you're looking further ahead and planning further ahead on a bike.
In that
because you've got a duty of care to yourself.
A
couple of bike lengths again, get around him if he was to break down. Be aware of cyclists, junctions, yep, all that sort of stuff. And, you know, vehicles do take advantage of you as well on a bike.
So let's get the next video in. Let's come out there. Get the next one in, which is following on really. So choose a file. 93.
Well, they wouldn't on a car, so people's behaviour to you on a bike can be different to in a car. Observations, always. And I'm looking down the road, looking further than the parked van on the right, looking at traffic coming here, so always looking for the furthest point.
So you can see the parked van on the right. How early did we spot that? So here I start talking about looking down the road as far as you can and scanning back, I think I mentioned, excuse me, and I referred to the white van.
And I'm looking down the road, looking further than the parked van on the...
So looking further than the parked van. So I'm not looking at the red car, I'm not looking at the blue car on the opposite side, or the black car on the opposite side, or the blue car on my side further ahead. Right at the far end of the road, you've got some cream buildings. You can just see a white van. You can just see a white van on the right-hand side alongside that lamppost. That's how far. And you're looking all the way down, scanning junction on the left, driveways, junctions on the right. That's how far you're looking down the road.
Right, looking at traffic coming here. So always looking for the furthest point of your road and then scanning back. And also anticipating something there, look, coming around, overtaking the van, which would be on my side of the road. So I've got those three positions, 1, 2 and 3, which I can change to suit me at any given time. Allow sufficient distance to park vehicles. If a door opens, I don't want to be in the way of it.
Yep, allowing sufficient distance to park cars. So it's got to be a metre, it's got to be a door opening width, enabling you to keep safe.
Anticipate the green lights, looking down the road, see where the road disappears round to the right. Anticipate junctions, scan around. Pedestrians crossing the road. Anticipate the lights changing. Junctions, cars pulling out. Some pedestrians at a bus stop. Make sure they're not going to walk out.
Yeah, could be a
step
good
out.
There's so many requests to get to them all eventually. Yeah, counter steering could be a good one.
On a Mod 2, what they want to see is that you're safe, you're sort of making good progress given your road and traffic conditions.
I mean, now get used to this.
So we've got two roundabouts coming up. Both of them are going to be going straight on. Observations change in road position. So anytime you go from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 2, 2 to 1, anytime always be aware of what's going on behind. Zebra crossing, how early can you see that? Yeah, so you can see it nice and early, gives you time.
Yeah, do you see that? How early you could see that?
Observations change in road position. So anytime you go from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 2, 2.
This point here, I think we've spotted the zebra crossing and pedestrian with the dog.
One. Anytime always be aware of what's going on behind. Zebra crossing, how early could you see that? Yeah, so you can see it nice and early, gives you time. Anticipate again, the lights changing.
Chris Hockin, good evening. Is a shoulder check required on every position change for Mod 2? Nope, I wouldn't say so. Always consider it mirrors as a minimum, depending on your distance that you're changing position. Remember, the mirrors will not cover your blind spot. So I would say that's how you want to base the decision. If the mirrors are not going to give you the information that you want, so consider the blind spot shoulder check. So the short answer is no, you don't have to, but every situation is going to be different. I have a really good video, I think it's down below, Chris, of in the descriptions. I've got a video, so description down below. I've got a description, it's called Rear Observations Explained and a Demonstration. So take a look at that. Any questions, fire away. TH3 British, I'd love to see a video on bike maintenance where you go in depth on how you maintain your bike all year round, depending on where the charges get. Yeah, they will be coming. So we've got a fleet mechanic now. He's works for us 3 days a week. He's gone up now to 4 days a week to look after all of our bikes, and we will be filming different jobs that he does. We're going to be doing some filming, so it is going to happen. So watch this space, that's all I can say. And you know, we will get there eventually. Good evening, Dave Morgan. Rob, I'm down in Bristol. Can you open a school down here, please? Looking for a school to begin my Mod 1 2. Any advice finding a good school, Dave? My neck of the woods as well. I know Bristol quite well. 40 minutes north of Bristol, Cotswolds. But yeah, listen. When we open a school down in Bristol, you probably will have passed already. We are looking at opening 3 more schools this year. We've got a nice opportunity that's come around, and we've got 4 schools in the northwest. We're going to be opening another 3. We've got 7. So things are moving quite rapidly. What I'd say to you is get yourself up in a hotel, come and stay and have some time with us. We do have a lot of people come up, stay in a hotel, and it works well for them. But what could I say? Bristol, if you go on, get yourself on Google, I suppose, have a look at your local schools, good reviews and stuff like that. Yeah.
We're looking for information, so road signs, straight on at the roundabout, looking for road markings, road signs.
This is a busy roundabout. This is left to the motorway, M60. Really, really busy roundabout. And, you know, those observations I was talking about earlier, right, left, right, left, right, left. You can see why it's so important, particularly here, because the motorway traffic backs up. So you're looking, you concentrate on the right, you see the right's clear to go, you go, and then you're straight in the back of the car that's not gone
So
because
go straight on in the left lane.
Remember that plane, watching somebody play
Or the right
tennis.
lane.
I mean, this roundabout is this is nothing compared.
Keep looking both ways, don't just stare to the right, because the left
This is
can
quiet.
get blocked. It's quite a busy roundabout.
See how my head's turning, right, left, making sure my the area that I'm moving into is clear.
Lane discipline.
There's go back to Dave Morgan again. There's in the country, but not many bike schools that are accredited by the MCIA, the motorcycle training industry. But this let me just put this down there for you, Dave. This is Dave Morgan. Try them, Dave Morgan. Phoenix Motorcycle Training, Clifton Rugby Club. Try them. They are very good. So get in touch with them, and they'll look after you. Mark Yaffe, speak to him. He's the boss. And tell him RJH sent you, and they'll look after you. All right. So what I've done here is waited.
Into the right-hand lane as soon as it's safe to do so. Into the right-hand lane as soon as it's safe to do so, and straight on.
I suppose response to signs and signals could come into here. So, you know, if you're following the road straight on at the roundabout, look at the road markings. You've only got the 2 lanes. So you've got left lane left, right lane straight on, or right. So you've got to be in the right lane to go straight on at this roundabout. So do look at the road markings carefully.
Into the right-hand lane as soon as it's safe to do so. Into the right-hand lane as soon as it's safe to do so, and straight on. Exit in the roundabout, lifesavers.
Response and signs and signals. So when you're, I can just play it back a bit there. Any roundabout, right lane. So at this point, the left indicator to come on. So we exit. I've not got my right indicator on because I'm going straight on. I'm not turning right, so I've got no indicator on approach. But at this point I can put my left indicator on to let the people know that I'm coming off, but also want to look at left lifesaver.
Exit in the roundabout.
That left lifesaver, you're not looking for traffic coming on really, you are, but
into the right.
Your danger is more somebody coming round on your left hand side here.
Exit in the roundabout, lifesaver.
Lifesaver.
And then you got
look for the new sign. So when you come off of when you come off one road and into another road, your new information is either as you're coming off or it's when you come off. So start looking for that new information.
New speed sign of 40.
And then you can respond. So it lost me two coming over again slightly, so
just pull in, that's it. Just slow down a bit there, Danny. Let us out. Well done. So this is all 40 then, 40. So picking out the road signs whenever you're going into a new road or coming out of a road, always look for that new information. Pick out your road signs, look, the road becomes narrower on the right, or the roadcraft crossroads. 40. Mirrors before brakes, control position stopping, observations moving off, anticipate, scan around, make sure nobody's trying to take like that Mini, changing lanes, 40 still. How early can you look for the new speed signs?
Yep, so new speed signs right down the bottom.
See them, so spot them nice and early. Mirrors before brakes. 30. Anticipate your crossroads, your junctions. Anticipate cars at junctions pulling out. Anticipate parked vehicles, sufficient distance, picking out your road signs, information, observations changing position, road signs, deviation to the right, junction on the, there's half out, half in, anticipate it. Lights changing.
Good question, Dave. So if I'm looking over my left shoulder in my blind spot to exit the roundabout and there's somebody there and they are in the space that I'm going to, then yes, I would. I'd always go for safety. You don't go where your eyes haven't looked, which is why you do the lifesaver. Very, very important. And you know, that's not going to cause you a problem on your test. If you look over your shoulder and there's somebody there and you can't go around back in, and that's really good planning, good spatial awareness. And yeah, you just got to deal with situations as and when.
So you're picking out all these hazards all the time. Pedestrians walking up to cars. Work.
Yeah, so do you see that? Pedestrians walking up to cars.
Patients change. There's half out, half in, anticipate it.
Always anticipating. Always anticipating. So car stuck out of the front ends over the white line, so unpredictable. So you're spotting it nice and early.
Lights changing. So you're picking out all these hazards all the time. Pedestrian.
There, so pedestrian. It's a bit like a hazard perception clip, isn't it?
Is half out, half in, anticipate it.
Got a change of position there. Quite a wide road. Car on me right's way over anyway, but you can see I'll just change that position.
Road signs, deviation to the
back
right.
Into position 2.
Junction on the
position 3 on a right-hand bend. But in this instant,
there's half out, half in, anticipate
I'm just
it.
Just getting into that safety zone. Don't trust them.
Lights changing.
Lights changing. Talking about lights changing. And when do I spot the lady? Probably already spotted her.
Picking out all these hazards all the time.
There. I see it just there.
So you're picking out all these hazards all the time.
There. That's where we. Yep, that's where we see her.
Pedestrians walking up to cars.
Chris Hocking, good evening to you. Any thoughts on covering the front brake when approaching hazards? Yeah, well, we all do it, and we all don't do it. Just remember, when you're covering a brake, you're more likely to want to use it when you shouldn't use it. So, but no, covering, there are advantages of covering the front brake, and there are disadvantages of covering the front brake. So you've just got to go with your own, style.
Workman. Again, lights changing. Cars waiting to turn. Pedestrians pressing the buttons of the crossings. What's written on the roads. Constantly asking yourself questions all the time. Anticipate, stay away from the centre white line. Okay, at the lights we'll be going straight on. Just reduce a bit of speed when you got a bit more obstructions. Anticipate the lights, we're following the road straight on. Good scan around.
Yep, that's all good stuff. So let's come back out of there. We've got the third one. Which is 900.
Emergency service vehicles, vans at junctions. Following the road straight on. Cars turning in front of you. Parked cars on the roads, zebra crossings again. Vehicles moving towards us over the white line, so be flexible. You can always come over, look into a safer position. And back afterwards into the centre command. Anticipate the pedestrian walking up to the crossing. She's going to press the button. The light's going to change. You're doing all this, but you're also aware of what's going on behind you. So, of course, don't forget checking your mirrors, and you're constantly aware of what's going on around you. Continuously aware of what's going on around you. At the roundabout, we're going to follow the road straight on, so it's a mini roundabout. Don't need to indicate, straight on. I'm going to let my speed down, because I can't really see until quite late.
Yeah, approach to mini roundabout is really, really important. Speed is always dependent on your visibility. All mini roundabouts are going to be really different. You all know how you can tell a roundabout. So let's come back a little bit.
Don't need to indicate, straight on.
Is a little blue sign, look. Mini roundabout.
I'm going to let my speed down, because I can't really see until quite late. Looks good. Anticipate cars, look, reversing out. Following the road straight on. Anticipating the lights changing. Junctions, anticipating, scanning around all the time. Anything that gets your attention. What effect is it going to have on you? What action do you need to take, if any? So a defensive approach to your riding.
Again,
straight on, got to be in the right hand lane, look.
Response to roads, straight on, road markings.
Approach to your riding. Straight on, got to be in the right hand lane, look.
So when you go forward through the lights, look at the road, where the road goes, or the road markings. So
when I go forward, what I want to do is anticipate anybody in the left lane that's deciding to go straight on, which they do. So observations before setting away. Looking over my left shoulder there, so I've got to come over. So you don't want to go where your eyes haven't looked.
Tip that. Don't want to go.
Observations, change in position, still 30s, but always looking for any information that would tell you otherwise. So how early can you see the 20 miles an hour signs? So you can check on mirrors. Use your brakes just to warn the vehicle behind. Coming down to 20, which would suggest more built up pedestrian activity. And this is a town centre one way, which is, so anticipating that, look, wagon.
If I'm unsure of what lane position to take at a specific time, would you recommend keeping lane position 2, then adapt the day? Just be flexible. Be flexible, and the earlier you recognise the hazard, that's going to make you change your position or slow down. The earlier you recognise it, the more time you've got to deal with it, and the earlier you want to be considering those position changes as early and as safe it is to do so.
Round. Wide berth. One way sign. We're now in a one-way, so a lot more to be thinking about, which is why the speed reduction is in place. Doors opening. Observations, anticipate your pubs and people coming out staggering. Buses moving away, pedestrians. Zebra crossings. We're going to follow the road round to the right, signposted for Wigan. So, still 20. Still 20. Anticipate the bus. I mean, if the right indicator comes on and it's safe, you'd want to let them out.
Yeah, you got that. That's an important one on your test. So if you're approaching a bus, so you've got a bus, he's not in a bus stop.
Anticipate the bus.
If the right indicator comes on, he wants to be pulling out. If it's safe to do so, let him out.
I mean, if the right indicator comes on and it's safe, you'd want to let them out.
So he is in a bus stop, but the bus stop's really in the road. So it's not like a lane, different. So if it's safe, let him out.
30 now. See the 30 signs? Just wait for you around the corner, it's not a problem.
What are your thoughts on them electric scooters then? See him there? Oh, he's got a helmet on. There's quite a few now, they're going around, they haven't even got a helmet on. They're only kids.
Put all 30, anticipate.
Emma, very good question. In the description below, there is a video, and it is headed, "Can I stop on WLO lines on my test?" And it's got, all will be explained in that video. I've done a video specifically on it in the description below, so have a look. In short, your answer on your test, yes, you can pass. Yes, you can pull up on WLO lines and pass your test, and then no, you can't pull over on WLO lines. You will fail your test. So watch the video. All will be explained. Different scenarios. You can get away with it, and you can't get away with it. But good question. Well done. Your friend probably might have, well, I'm saying he would have done, but your friend might have, Dave, got a minor. Did he know that it was a 70 or a 60? If you're doing 30 or 20.
So up to the limits where possible, and you know, don't be worried about slowing down in the busier hotspots, because it gives you a bit more time to deal with stuff then.
So speed limits are limits, not targets. But yeah, if road traffic conditions, weather conditions allow, then you are expected to be getting up to those speeds, most definitely.
A lot more parked cars, a lot more pedestrian activity, then just reducing a bit of speed gives you time, and that's what we all need, is time to be able to respond. So anticipate the lights changing, good scan around.
So that's quite a good session. It's an hour and 20 minutes. Ooh-wee, hour and 20 minutes. But that, I'm hoping that gives you an idea about your Mod 2. There's plenty more. What I would say is do have a look at the videos below. A lot of the videos below are geared up, are aimed at all the stuff for your Mod 2. And remember, pick out those videos as an example. How to use bus lanes is down there. It's how to use roundabouts. You know, Emma, can I stop on double yellow lines? Lots of different scenarios. What happens to my license when I pass? Pillion passenger questions. What you need to wear. So it's quite a lot of videos in the description below geared up at Module 2. Take a look. Questions, fire them over to me. The British, I doubt my 125 could reach 70 or less downhill. Yeah, but you wouldn't get, if it was a dual carriageway, 70 mile an hour, I would say it's unlikely the examiner would take you on that road if you're on a 125. So, you know, it's all, they're not there to make it difficult for you. That's the last thing they will be doing. But yeah, so I'm going to be signing off. The videos, I think the interactive videos and how I'm doing them, I am sort of looking at introducing more of them, I think. So we'll be doing some Module 1 stuff as an example, and yeah, so somebody mentioned about, you know, counter steer and different. So now I'm getting the hang of it, of the bringing the videos into the live streams. I'll start doing a few more, because I think it just makes it a lot more interesting. I certainly seem to be getting a lot more interaction from you guys. Yeah, so thanks Dave for that. My next live stream next week will be from Spain. We're going to be in Spain probably for about, well, seven weeks. I would think 6-7 weeks, maybe a little bit longer. We'll see how we go. But the live streams will be continuing. Promise I won't be teasing you in my speedos on the beach or everything like that. Will be very naughty. The backdrop will be as it is now. You won't even know that I'll be in Spain. But anyway, I will be in Spain. I will be keeping. That's fantastic. The British. I love this style of video. Yeah, the live streams. What we're doing about a year, but only just now starting to learn how to be bringing videos in, and it's all aimed at helping you, the viewers, out. So you know, it will develop into Mod 1 exercises, you know, being more specific about stuff. So yeah, it's a way forward. Thank you very much, Em. I'm sure I'll be looking forward to seeing your pass, and I'm sure you will do well. And remember, watch some of the videos down below, and as I say, any questions, ask away. It's not a problem. We'll always get back to you. So I'm going to love you all and leave you all. going to say thank you very much for joining in. It's been very good. And yeah, I'm going to leave you all to it and speak to you all very, very soon. Thank you very much. Bye for now.